I remember a time I worked 75 hours and my check was like $800. It was the most I've seen in a 2-week period. I'm like, shoot. All I did was hang around drug dealers and people who sold drugs. 90% of what we deal with is mindset. It's not what we do or the strategy. There's no secret sauce.
You're hitting back to back to back.
Back to back every month, and I'm doing at least 2 to 3 deals a month.
Is this after I met you already?
After you met me.
I want to go back to when I met you.
Let's go.
Because you sucked. Right?
At the end of the day, you start seeing a pattern in between successful people.
What did you have to sacrifice to get to this point?
Never trust a leader who has never been to war.
Can wholesale change his life?
Wholesale absolutely can change his life if you put it in the work.
I love that. Certified Sage in the building.
What up, man? What up? How's it going, bro?
I'm gonna just cut to it. $500,000 profit this year.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Last year,
crazy.
How much you make last year?
Last year, I made probably about 90.
Year before that?
30. Yeah, 30 to 40.
Within 2 years, you were able to cross over $500,000.
Yes, sir.
In wholesale real estate, flipping contracts.
Yep.
Talking to distressed sellers.
One flip. Yep.
In that. Let's talk about the journey. How did we even come across wholesale real estate? How did this even come across your feed? Were you watching Jerry Norton call? What was you doing, bro?
Critically, bro, I've always said that I'm going to be doing real estate since I was a kid. Like, since I was probably like 5, 6 years old. I was like, I'm going to do real estate. I used to watch those shows where, like, they take a house where it's just from the bottom all the way to fixed up. I'm like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm like, all right, I want to do wholesaling. I don't know if that's fixing a flip or realtor. I didn't know nothing about it. I was like, I'm going to do real estate.
Yeah.
So and I really feel like it's kind of like a manifesting thing. Like, hey, I'm saying I'm going to do this. I already knew I wasn't going to college. I said that too. I was like, I'm not going to college. Like, straight out of high school, I'm going straight into real estate. Exactly what I did. After high school, bro, like, I was not mentally prepared. Like, we got certain times where we're like, man, look, I want to do this, but like, do you really want to do it? Like, do you want to really put in the work? Are you ready? Because mentally, like, at certain ages, we not ready. But then, like, as we cross paths, I'm sure you think about, oh, what was I like 6 months ago? And you cringe. You're like, dang, how did I make that decision?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like with me years ago. I'm like, all right, I can really say I wasn't ready for it. Like, mentally, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to put in the work. I wasn't ready for a commitment. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I'd rather just work a 9 to 5, make quick money, and run it up there. And then after that, last year, 2023, October, I crossed the line wholesaling full time. Yeah. So before that, I had my first sales job, my only first sales job. And literally, it was only commission based. So that was kind of like my stepping stone to, like, I was already stepping towards real estate, but then I'm like, all right, I'm tired of making $1,000 a month, because I was making $1,000 a month going at Sawgrass Steakhouse. And I was working for them. I remember a time I worked 75 hours and my check was like $800. It was the most I've seen in a 2-week period. I'm like, shoot.
800?
Like, and I worked a lot. I'm like, dang. And I was happy about it at the time, but like thinking back at it, I'm like, that X amount of hours, I could have done this.
Yeah.
So that was my first sales job. There was people doing like 5, 6 deals in a day. We're getting paid $150 per lead that signs up. So I was in marketing for, like, you know, car accidents and attorneys and all that. So basically went into that, and within a year I got promoted. Well, within probably less than a year, I got promoted to a closer. And closers, it was on salary and all that good stuff. So my first 2 weeks into that job, I did $5,800. Next 2 weeks, I'm at $5,300. I'm like, okay, it's something I can rock with. Like, and I'm only commission. So like after a certain amount of sales, now I'm not even capped. I'm like, all right, after 150, after 20 sales, you go to 175 per. Yeah. All those 20 ones turned into 175. So I'm like, okay, cool. So that gave me like the introduction and the mindset to be ready for wholesaling going into, you know, last year and this year. I'm like, all right, I've already been on commission based for over 4 years. I'm like, I haven't had a salary or an hourly or anything like that waiting on me. I'm going to use my skill set and my knowledge to, you know, depend on income. I'm cool with that, because I'm like, all right, I got what it takes. My leadership skills transferred from over there to over here. So when I crossed the line into wholesaling in this arena right here, I'm working like twice as hard. You know what I mean?
Hard,
I ain't even lax. Like I ain't even when I first came in, my first month actually it was crazy because the company kept going down. And it was like, that was my pain point. I'm like, bro, I got to do something different. Because, like, my money was, like, I make $8K. But then, like, won't get paid for, like, 2 months. I'm like, shoot, like, that goes quick. Then I start running up credit cards. I'm, like, 30, 40K in debt with credit cards. I got car note. I got all these different types of bills. I'm supplying, like, my household and helping out with things in the household. So it's like, man, I got to do something different. So in that last time it went down, I was like, all right, let me take, bro, you wouldn't even believe it. It's crazy. I took $1,500, bro. And I said, all right, let's see what it do. Like, I'm gonna put the skills to the test. Like, I ain't been consistently wholesaling all these years, but like, let me do it now. Like, I've done that deal here and there, 7 deals, all this, but like, let's see if I can really put it to the test.
Yeah.
So I was like, God, look, if you are who you say you are, I won't fail.
Yeah.
Like, exactly what I said. I'm like, all right, let me take this $1,500. Let me see what it do. Put it in the work within, we closed the deal in 2 weeks, $4,000. It was an I JV with somebody, so it was really 8. But I JV with somebody, made 4. I was like, okay,
4,000.
take this other 4,000.
Yeah.
See what else I can do.
Okay.
8,500, 17K, 17, 30.
Damn.
50,000.
So you're hitting back to back to back.
Back to back every month, and I'm doing at least 2 to 3 deals a month.
Is this after I met you already?
After you met me.
I want to go back to when I met you.
Let's go.
Because you sucked. Right?
Paying $5,000 a month.
Oh my.
I had the 9 to 5.
Well, let me tell you, he was buying every single course, every program, every CRM, he was buying everything. He was just trying to learn. And I remember we connected through Facebook, Sub 2,
Yep.
Place Morbius community. We connected, and I was like, "Yo, you in Dallas?" He's like, "Yeah." All right, it's cool. We linked up. I remember we linked up. I had brought you to Frisco.
Yep.
You were just getting into the game.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And at the time for lead generation, what were you doing? Driving for dollars?
I was cold calling.
You was
I was
cold
cold calling. Yeah, straight cold calling.
Straight
We were
cold calling. And then I remember I had brought you to the office, and I'm just like, this guy's not too good. And I remember I had got on the phone with you because we were trying to look up that land deal. You remember that lot deal in Dallas?
Yep.
And I remember how you sounded on the phone.
Denison.
It was in I remember how you sounded on the phone. I was like, this guy's a lot of potential because you were cold on the phone.
Cold on the phone, absolutely.
But you were just struggling to get the business off the ground.
Yeah.
You went from sucking, and I remember you were asking me questions.
Yep.
To now you have made more money than I did this year in wholesale real estate.
Absolutely.
And I couldn't be more proud because I remember when you were telling me your background and where you had came from and how you just completely shifted your lifestyle. You said, I'm not going to fall into that. I'm not going to be a product of my environment. I'm going to be better, and I'm going to show my bloodline that you can change. I want you to talk more about that.
All I did was hang around drug dealers and people who sold drugs. Now, at a period of time, I fell into that, but then I had the willpower to say, all right, this ain't for me, and not be that person who glorifies this kind of lifestyle. And I'm like, all right, I can be better. So I'm like, all right, let me quit doing that. And let me just lock in. So I literally was staying in the hood. When you met me, I was still staying in the hood. I was staying there, but I wasn't a product, right? Somebody told me that stuck with me. It was like, man, when you leave here, you're not gonna miss nothing. Like, everything is still gonna be here when you get back, if you come back, right?
Yeah.
And I remember in 2021, got out of there and moved around. I was still in the hood. I just moved to up the street. And the crazy part about it was I took 2 years to just fully lock in. Like, I'm talking about, like, not entertaining those people, changing my environment, changing my circumstances, and just basically being better.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
24. 24 years old, and you're making what a doctor is making, almost more. What did you have to sacrifice to get to this point? Because everybody likes to be like, oh, man, I can't wait to be making that much. But you don't know what it comes with. What did you have to sacrifice to get here? People,
relationships, family. I wouldn't even say, like, sacrifice as if, like, oh, I cut these people off just to, but yes, like, just literally what you have to do. Here's what I got. You got day ones, you got day twos, and you got day threes, right? So your day ones is the people who are back in the hood or back in the day that you only can talk about memories with, like what you used to do, right? Your day twos is your people like me and you. We on the same level, but we learning from each other. We're able to make money with each other.
Yeah.
Your day threes is somebody like your Homosies, your Eric Kleins, your people that are on a whole different stage in life. And when you come across those type of people, you got to pay for their time.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to surround myself with, I was like, all right, well, why would I hang around day ones? They not doing nothing. They can't tell me nothing about business. They ain't never made this X amount of money in life, right? How am I going to take advice from these people when they have never done it? You can't never trust a leader who has never been to war, right?
Well, what happened is whenever you ask for something, God's like, are you sure you want that?
Yeah.
And then he'll put you through the ringer.
Yep.
Put you through the test to see if you're worthy for it.
Yep.
Maybe he puts you through a dark time to help you maybe gain more wisdom, learn something new, and maybe just clean out the old gutter mindset you used to have. Bring us to that dark time where you ask for something and then God just put you through the test to see if you were worthy for it.
Yeah. This business.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like years ago, like he putting me through tests years and years and years to see if I'm ready. Like, all right, if you're going to get in this, what are you going to do? Are you willing to get on the phone? Are you willing to start at the lowest system and then work yourself up? Are you willing to start with no team? Because remember back then I even had VAs.
Yeah, I remember that.
I wasn't even doing that many deals. I had a team of VAs and all of this. And my problem then was I tried to always be where the big dogs were and be where everybody was, but that's not everybody's path, you know?
Yeah.
And like I didn't have money coming in, but I had money coming in because I had a 9-to-5. So I had money coming in to invest in myself, but was that money actually getting spent well? No. I'm just spending it on everything. I'm getting 50,000 records. And I'm like, who gonna call them? Like, I can only call 10 a month. Like, who's gonna call those leads? And then by the time we get to the rest of the 40, they probably old. Somebody probably done sold. Like, it's just so many different things that can happen. From then, like, just literally trying to do entrepreneurship, you beg for things and God's he'll give it to you. You know, he'll put it there, right? Yeah. Or even the devil will give it to you. Like, I mean, we got to talk about it. Devil influence, but God allowed, right? So, like, the devil can give you what you want, right? He can put those things, and God will say, okay, well, give it to him. And let's, you know, he's going to stay faithful, right? And you're going to make that choice to, hey, all right, I'm going to either follow God's path or I'm just going to follow down my path.
Where do most people go wrong when they get into this industry?
People go wrong with the wrong mindset, right? I'm going to test this out for 90 days. Okay. What if it don't work in 90 days? Then what? You going to quit? Like, you already put yourself in the box. Like, you already kicked yourself out the door, right? Another place people go wrong at. Well, does cold calling work? Does this work? What's the best route? Yeah. There is no best route. They all work. You just got to commit and you got to do it. You got to put in the work. How many hours a day should I work? Bro, why are you asking me that? Just work. Like, okay, what's this look like when you get here? Okay, that's cool to know, but like, have you done this yet? Yeah. Oh, no. Well, if you haven't, how you gonna get on the phone with somebody if you don't pull the list? Yeah. If you don't skip trace it, if you don't dial it. Yeah. Okay. What do I say when I get on the phone? Bruh, we talk about this all the time. Like, you have to start here. It's a step-by-step process. So people go wrong with the wrong mindset. Like, it's not a how. Like, it's not a how. You don't, how is it? No. It's like, why? Why are you not willing to commit yourself? And people always want to see success. They're so materialized. They want the expensive things. They want all of these different things, right? But they don't see all the things that we sacrifice. 90% of what we deal with is mindset. It's not what we do or the strategy. There's no secret sauce. Like, it's literally just putting in the work. It's the knowledge, of course, but 90% is going to be mindset of what's holding people back. Like, why aren't you getting on the phone? Why are you scrolling? What are your bad habits that you have? Let's talk about where you are not good, right? Like, let's talk about those things. And the other 10% is just putting in work. I ain't gonna pretend like it's so easy to talk to a seller. Like, there are different nuances in business every single time. Like, we got systems, we got KPIs, we got, the scripts, we got different types of, niches of what we're trying to target. We got, underwriting a deal multiple different types of ways, like 5 different ways to underwrite a deal. Like, don't get me wrong, like, those things, like, you can learn those. That's just knowledge, right? But are you actually gonna put in the work? You got people that are afraid to get on the phone. Like, If you want to get paid, get on the phone.
You gotta get on the phone.
Get on the phone if you want to get paid.
I always tell people wholesale real estate is the only industry where you can go from having $3,000 in your bank account to $36,000 within a week, right? You just gotta put in the work.
Absolutely.
Is this possible for the person who has no real estate connections, no education on real estate, they don't have nothing. They're brand new, starting from scratch. Is this possible for them?
Absolutely. Absolutely possible. All you need is some leads and a dialer.
Yeah.
That's it. It's different because on the realtor side, you're wondering where you're going to get your leads from.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think the realtors have many systems like we do. Like, I know they have the ads they can run on Facebook and stuff like that. Yeah, but let's be real. Like, wholesaling, your pipeline comes from your thing like PropStream, your thing like batch leads, and
PPC,
all of the all those different things. Like, all we have to do is just somebody to say yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, our leads are literally like, we have it good nowadays because like we just pay $97 for PropStream, pull a list of 10,000, we get 10,000 every single month.
Yeah.
Like, that's where our pipeline comes in at. Then the people will tell you yes, then you build your follow-up, your follow-up pipeline where people are, 3-month pipeline. All right, people, they want to sell in 3 months. Let me keep up with them. These people want to sell in 6 months. And then before you know it, time goes by so fast. You're like, all right, it's time for me to follow up with the 3-month lead. Yeah. It's time for me to follow up with the 6-month lead. All right, boom. I got the drip campaign going. This one person just texted me back. Yeah. All right, cool. So like, we're building our pipeline. So yes, absolutely possible to do it.
You started out, and when I met you, you wasn't closing that many deals. Now we closing a deal every week, damn near.
Yeah.
What changed?
Consistency, locking in, and I'm hitting my 12s now.
You're hitting your 12. What's the 12s?
In my 12, what I call a 12-hour shift. You know how you got the Amazons, the UPS. Like, I'm like, all right, how can I, like, I'm getting the lead flow. Because once you start making money, y'all, you start investing more. You start seeing what works. So when you see what works, I double down on it. So I'm like, all right, ads is what's working for me right now. TikTok is what's working for me right now.
Yeah.
And basically, like, getting a lead, like, literally every 2 hours, I'm probably getting a lead, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, how can I maximize this? So like, now I'm all in on ads, and I'm like, okay, well, speed to lead is very, very important now. Like, cold call, it's like, okay, well, those leads might not be, they like, okay, well, if you can get my price, okay, then we can talk. Yeah. But then PPC, they're like, hey, I'm ready to sell. I had somebody today, it was like, I'm a motivated seller.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're what? I'm a motivated seller. And literally told me this. And he's like, man, look, here's the numbers on it. I had people, the realtors come by, give me estimates. I had this, the comps. I pulled the comps. Is comps going for literally 380, not 390, et cetera, et cetera. And I only want 200. Yeah. And he said, even if your offer comes below 200, still give it to me because I need to sell as soon as possible. So I'm like, okay, so you're negotiable. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. So like, after knowing what works for me, I'm like, all right, now let's create a system. How many calls do we need to make to get in touch with a seller? After how you get in touch with this X amount of sellers, how many processes, what I mean by processes, how many people do you have to take through your process to give an offer, right? Now we're tracking KPIs, key performance indicators, right? If I process 10 sellers, industry standard says that I should at least be given half of those offers. So out of 5 offers, all right, how many deals can I get from these 5 offers that I've made? All right, 2 deals, okay. We have something we call a success rate, right? Or what we call a fallout rate. So a success rate is basically out of those X amount of contracts that I'm able to get, if I'm getting 10 contracts in a month, all right, what is my fallout rate or my success rate on being able to actually sell these to a buyer? Right now I'm tracking, okay, what is my success rate? All right, my success rate is 50%. All right, this month I need 10 contracts. Instead of getting 5 and my goal is to do 5 contracts, no, I need 10 now. So now after I do 10, my success rate based on my KPIs is telling me, hey, half of your deals fall out and half of your deals sell. So, all right, how can I figure out how to get my fallout rate or my success rate to be higher and my fallout rate to be lower? So like, all right, success rate, I want to bump it to 70%. What do I have to do? Do I have to make more offers? Do I have to make more processes? Do I need more leads, et cetera, et cetera? So now I started tracking KPIs to tell me where I'm going. And most people don't do this because they're, for one, afraid, and then for two, they don't know what to track.
I tell everybody in wholesale, the magic is it's just a numbers game.
Yeah.
Right. So if I want to predict, if I want to make $30,000 this month, I need to talk this many people. I need to pull this many contacts.
Yep.
I need to contact this many people. I need to connect with this many people. I need to get this many leads. I need to make these many offers, and I'll get this many contracts, and that'll turn in $30,000.
Yep.
All you have to do is reverse engineer.
Absolutely.
It's all KPIs.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is literally it.
You hang around a lot of 7-figure wholesalers.
Yeah.
You know a lot of them. You talk to them. You went out to dinner with them.
Yeah.
I see your story.
Absolutely.
What do they all have in common that maybe the other wholesalers are missing?
Putting in the work, man. Like, people complain too much. Like, oh, well, this is that, and this is that. Seller's price is this. Work it. Like, do the process. People want quick results. They don't want to do the work. Like, everybody wants to make 6 figures. Everybody wants to drive a Lambo. Everybody wants the biggest bank account, right? But like, what sacrifices are you making? What are you doing on your day by day? Are you actually taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually, right? Like, those are the key things that I see a lot of people that I connect with. Like, they're putting God first. They're working out every day. Just like when you had that job, right? And we worked 8 hours a day, and you didn't call into that job and say, oh, make this excuse of, oh, I'm not gonna do this today. Because you know that your check, those bills depended on that check. And you needed that check to be the same every single time. Or if it's less, you're falling behind, right?
Yeah.
So I took that same methodology, put it into wholesaling. I'm like, okay, I see these people are doing it. They're putting 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. I see people up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, right? I see people working out every day. I see people eating more healthy. I see people putting God first, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not a follower, but at the end of the day, you start seeing a pattern in between successful people. And they have wives and girlfriends and these people who are in circles that they're in that uplift them, right? Like, once you have a circle and people that are able to hold you accountable, not yes men, but people that are actually able to hold you accountable, right? And share with you and provide and pour into you, actually. Man, those are the difference between the average wholesaler, like getting in the rooms and networking, right? And getting in front of people, right? I don't even like networking. I do it because I'm able to sit in front of people like that. Now I'm making money with the name and tailors, all these different types of people.
Yeah.
It's because at the end of the day, once you connect, you're either gonna network or you're gonna die.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Entrepreneurs, at the end of the day, is their mindset, their willingness, and their why also.
Yes.
Like, people's why, our why is very, very important. Like, there's times in wholesaling, like, bro, I'm sure, man, we all been to the place when we in wholesaling, we're like, man, what are we doing? You woke up, man, I don't want to do this today. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So, like, your why is always going to be that reminder of why you do what you do. Is that your family? What is that?
What's your why?
My why?
Yeah.
My why is providing for my family. Like, I grew up in a household where literally drugs are being sold. Like, literally for half my life, I was in a trap house. I grew up in that. My auntie and uncle was literally doing that, right? And then I went to seeing the other side of my grandparents struggling. They can't make ends meet. They're struggling to pay this bill, that bill, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, man, like, how can I stop this? Nobody's in my family has ever graduated, right? Most of my core family, they ain't graduated high school. If they did, they didn't graduate college. I ain't even go to college, which, I mean, that's cool. But like, I'm literally seeing change in my people. They're like, man, like, you're showing. I have my aunt. She does insurance. She's like, man, how can I maximize this? She's like, man, do I got to do ads? Like, what? Like, I'm like, she's like, bro, like, you inspire me. So to see my people, like, man, like, they believe and see what I'm able to do and see the freedom that I have. They're like, man, like, how can I do this?
To Cedric, who is between the ages of 18 to 24.
Yeah.
And he's still in that environment. And he feels like he's still helpless and he can't help his family. And he sees everyone struggle. What does he need to hear?
Make the right decisions, for one. Keep God first. Keep believing. Keep the faith. Put in that work. Get around people who you want to be like, who you want to see, who are succeeding. Right? No matter what you got to do. Do you have to go dress up, go to this networking event? Do you not know anybody? What does your network look like? Right? So put in the work. Don't listen to other people. Don't listen to other people. And when you tell them your dream and tell them what your aspirations, like, it's so many people that tell me, well, I did not see you doing this. I thought you would probably be somewhere else,
Yeah.
in jail or somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So like I would tell that young person, man, like keep going, because like your environment is not you, and you don't have to be your environment. Connect with the right people and not fall into this follower mindset. Don't fall into the follower mindset of trying to be like this person or be like this person or be just everything that you see. You don't have to be what you see.
Yeah.
And then lastly, literally whatever you decide to do, dedicate yourself, have discipline and consistency, and literally make sure that every single bridge that you build, don't burn it.
Can wholesale change his life?
Wholesale absolutely can change his life if you put it in the work.
I love that. Let's go ahead. Let's do a deal breakdown.
Let's do it.
What's one of your favorite deals? One of your favorite stories? He got so many deals he didn't talked about in our group in the Digital Real Estate Blueprint. If you're not in there, you can get in there. Or
Absolutely.
we're gonna talk about yours as well.
Absolutely. This is a TikTok lead. This is a Cali deal. It's Compton, California. This lady's son literally trying to steal the property from her. She's the heir. So it's in a trust. It's in a special needs trust because the son he's a special need. So basically this son put a lien on the property, and he's basically saying that, oh, he put money into the property. He's owed money. And now he's trying to claim that he inherited the property, all of this. So it's all false because the documents clearly show that she's the executor of the estate.
Yeah.
So she's so distressed. The ARV is literally 600,000 plus. And basically the buyer, we assigned it to a buyer literally like next day for 350. And the deal is held up in court right now, but literally it's already assigned. So this deal right now, she just called me last week. She said, hey, I got the paperwork. The last court date is literally this week. She's like, hey, can we go ahead and start the process here? Because it's not looking too good for him. Like they're talking about probably jail time for him because he literally had an attorney put the lien on it illegally and all of that, and there's nothing we can do because title won't move forward until that lien is moved off. And they'll literally call the attorney and they won't move it. Like they won't continue moving forward with it. So with this deal right here that we're doing, we assigned it back to the buyer for $350. We got under contract at $30,000. That's how deep the motivation is.
30,000. You assigned it for how much?
330,000.
And 330,000. Okay. Yes. And you got it under contract for like 230.
No, 30,000. Making 300,000 on it. Split between me and my JV partner. We're making 300. And that's the difference between like, you know, these types of leads. Like when you get up and you start making money, you get more motivated leads and you start moving up in the chain. So that deal right there, she literally was like, man, look, my son is talking to my other son. He's talking about going to shoot the place up if we can't, get this dude out of here, because he's literally taking advantage of me. My mom just died 8 months ago. And she's like, look, like, I want to be done with this. I haven't even had a chance to grieve yet. Like, I'm literally still dealing with my mother's death, and he hasn't even given me a chance to grieve. So, like, can you get this done? If not, like, I have 5 other people calling me, but I'd rather go with you because I've dealt with you. Like, I like you. You've built rapport with me. You share I know you're real because you share your website with me. You know my story. You actually are the first person that actually empathized with me and showed empathy to my situation as opposed to treating me like another number. So how can we get this done? I'm like, let's do it. And I'm like, let's get it, man. Like, it's a fire deal.
I call, I close, I serve. Like, the bigger the check, it's the bigger the problem you solve.
Yep.
That's how we get paid.
Yep.
People wonder how you make a $300,000 check.
Yep.
Solve a $300,000 problem.
Absolutely. That's it. There's no special sauce. Solving problems.
What do you want to leave to the wholesaler who still has that analysis paralysis? They don't know if it's real. They hear $300,000, it goes right over their head. They hear KPIs, it goes right over their head.
Right.
They don't know what to do, and they don't believe it's real.
Absolutely.
And they're in a situation where they need to make it work. They're stressing.
Absolutely.
The weight on the shoulders is getting heavy.
Okay.
What do you want to leave them?
For one, I'm going to give you proof of concept. I'm about to post 3 deals on the screen that you can see right now, okay? So look at these 3 deals. For one, that's proof of concept that it actually works. And these are for cold call leads that I've just closed on, okay? So I'm going to show you 3 checks specifically from my bank account that we closed. That's one. The second thing I'm going to give you is that, for one, you have to know your why. Your why is very, very important. Like, you have to absolutely know your why. Yep. What is your why? Your why can't be money. Like you can't. It cannot be
It'll
money.
never last.
Yeah, because all you're doing is you're chasing the bag.
Yep.
You start chasing the bag, and you're not genuine in what you do. Your energy skills, your energy transfers over the phone. So they can tell if you're about money or if you really care about their situation. Energy transfers, absolutely. So whatever you do, you got to be disciplined. You got to be consistent. And then whatever you choose, whether that's cold calling, marketing, text blasting, mailers, door knocking, whatever you choose, make sure that you're consistent in what you do. Because if you're not consistent and you're not disciplined, you don't have the follow-up, you don't have the persistence that it takes to get in front of these sellers, and you don't want to do this work, somebody else is going to do it for you.
Yep.
Right? And then lastly, what I can leave you with is fall in love with the process instead of success. Right? So don't fall in love with the material things and the success that you see. Fall in love with the process and actually learning this process, because it's something that you're never going to forget. At the end of the day, when you learn this process, don't forget it, and then share the value too. When you learn it, share it with somebody else. Help somebody else, because your blessings are going to come full round.
Speaking on that, you got a coaching program now.
Absolutely.
You teaching people how to start making money, how to change their lives.
Man.
How can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. It's I am LeCedric. I am LeCedric. You can look me up on there. Facebook, LeCedric Brantley. And then also my closing community, Certified Closers, is cgclosers.net. You can look us up. Certified Closers, man. We got we've only been out a month, and we already have like 30 people and going, and we're adding value every single day. Like right now, they got it good because they're getting weekly calls. They're getting 2 calls a week. You're getting accountability calls once a week on Tuesdays at 12. You're getting Friday calls every single week. And then there's multiple times throughout the week where I just post a random link. Hey, who wants to have a work session? I just had one today with my students. Closed the deal on there too, a commercial deal, right? Yeah. So like we have work sessions where you're able to ask me questions, any types of things that you need, whether that's help with closing a deal, help with dispoing a deal. I have access to 5.8 million buyers. If you need closing tactics, if you need to learn how to deal with different personalities, whatever the case may be, it's kind of like a one-stop shop for whatever you need, except for creative finance, right? Coming soon. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, we're certified closers. I'm showing people literally how to close deals, but not only close deals, how to be value adders. So add value wherever you go and lead with what God has taught you and God has showed you, right? And lead with God, most importantly. Like your faith is everything and what you believe in is everything. So make sure that you lead with not only God, but your heart also. Your heart posture is very, very important. But that's my community, how you can get in touch with me. And yeah, man, hit me up if y'all need anything for sure.
I got to let you know, I got to end off with just letting you know, bro, I'm proud of you.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see the empire you build.
Yes,
I'm excited to see you hit $1 million in a year with wholesale real estate. I know you're going to do it. And just, even if you're going through some dragons that nobody else talk about, or that you haven't talked about, I hope you get through them. Yeah. And I hope you continue to
Absolutely, bro.
Your family, bro.
Absolutely, bro.
All right. Now, if y'all hear that, y'all can join his community. You can look into my community, but I say go look at his. If you want to take it to the next level and you want that hands-on experience with a pro, with a vet, someone who's doing $500,000 in a single year, join the community, CG Certified Closers.
Let's go.